The incident at Terminal B. It was a chaotic Tuesday morning at Los Angeles International Airport. The bustling terminal was packed with travelers rushing to catch flights, dragging suitcases, and juggling coffee cups. Among the crowd stood a tall, unassuming man in a black leather jacket, jeans, and a baseball cap pulled low over his face. To most, he looked like just another passenger, perhaps a musician or a low-key actor. But this was no ordinary traveler. This was Keanu Reeves. Keanu had just returned from a quiet retreat in the mountains, where he'd spent weeks reflecting on life, away from the glare of Hollywood. He was relaxed, refreshed, and eager to get home. But as he approached the security checkpoint, things took an unexpected turn. A new security officer, fresh out of training and eager to prove himself, noticed Keanu's low-profile demeanor. The officer, named Greg, had been instructed to be extra vigilant due to recent security threats. When Keanu's bag triggered a minor alert during the X-ray scan, Greg saw an opportunity to assert his authority. "Sir, step aside," Greg said firmly, his voice carrying a tone of suspicion. "We need to inspect your bag." Keanu, ever the gentleman, complied without protest. He smiled politely and handed over his bag. But as Greg rummaged through it, he grew increasingly suspicious. The bag contained no weapons or contraband, but it did hold a few unusual items: a vintage copy of Hamlet, a set of handwritten notes, and a small, intricately carved wooden box. "What's this?" Greg asked, holding up the box. "Just a personal item," Keanu replied calmly. "It's a gift for a friend." Greg wasn't convinced. "I'm going to need you to come with me for further questioning." Keanu raised an eyebrow but didn't argue. He followed Greg to a small, dimly lit room where he was subjected to a series of invasive questions. Despite his patience, the situation escalated when Greg's supervisor, a no-nonsense woman named Karen, entered the room. "We don't have time for this," Karen snapped. "If he's not a threat, let him go. If he is, kick him out." Greg, eager to prove himself, made the call. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the airport. You're not permitted to board your flight." Keanu's expression shifted from calm to concerned. "I understand you're doing your job, but this is a mistake. I'm just trying to get home." "The decision is final," Greg said, his voice firm. With a resigned sigh, Keanu gathered his belongings and left the airport. But as he walked away, he made a phone call. "It's me. We have a situation." The revelation back at the airport, Greg and Karen returned to their duties, unaware of the storm they'd just unleashed. It wasn't until an hour later, when a high-ranking official from the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, arrived at the terminal, that they realized something was wrong. The official, a stern man in his 50s, marched straight to Greg and Karen. "Who authorized the removal of Keanu Reeves from this airport?" he demanded. Greg's heart sank. "Keanu Reeves? The actor?" "No, the other Keanu Reeves," the official snapped sarcastically. "Yes, the actor. Do you have any idea who you just kicked out?" Karen tried to defend their actions. "Sir, he triggered a security alert and we followed protocol." "Protocol?" the official roared. "Keanu Reeves is one of the most respected and beloved figures in the world. He's also a confidential consultant for the TSA on improving passenger experience. You just humiliated him on national soil." Greg's face turned pale. "I had no idea." "Of course you didn't," the official said, his voice dripping with disdain. "But now the entire world is going to know. This is going to blow up and it's on you. The fallout." Within hours, the story went viral. News outlets picked up the incident, and social media exploded with outrage. Hashtags like #Justice for Keanu and #AirportFail trended worldwide. Fans flooded the airport's social media accounts with angry messages, demanding accountability. Meanwhile, Keanu remained silent. He didn't give interviews or make public statements. Instead, he retreated to his home, where he was greeted by his loyal dog and a stack of scripts he'd been meaning to read. But the world wasn't ready to let the story go. As the days passed, the airport faced mounting pressure. Greg and Karen were suspended pending an investigation, and the TSA issued a formal apology. But the damage was done. The incident had exposed deeper issues within the airport's security protocols, and calls for reform grew louder. The redemption. A week later, Keanu surprised everyone by showing up at the airport again. This time, he wasn't there to catch a flight. He was there to meet with the TSA and airport officials to discuss how to prevent similar incidents in the future. Greg and Karen, still reeling from the fallout, were invited to the meeting. When Keanu walked into the room, they braced themselves for the worst, but instead of anger, they were met with kindness. "I'm not here to blame anyone," Keanu said, his voice calm and reassuring. "I'm here to help. Let's figure out how to make this system better for everyone." The meeting lasted for hours, and by the end of it, Keanu had proposed several innovative solutions, including better training for security staff and a more passenger-friendly approach to handling alerts. His humility and generosity left everyone in the room inspired. A new beginning. In the weeks that followed, the airport implemented Keanu's suggestions, and the changes were met with widespread praise. Greg and Karen, though still embarrassed by their actions, found new purpose in their roles. They became advocates for the new system, sharing their story as a cautionary tale and a lesson in humility. As for Keanu, he returned to his quiet life, but his actions had a lasting impact. The incident became a symbol of the power of kindness and forgiveness, and Keanu's reputation as one of the most genuine and down-to-earth celebrities